All right. The most important live stream of 2024 is upon all of us, you guys, because Conor McGregor apparently says that he pulled out of the fight because of a broken toe. And this happens the same day that a bunch of really crazy accusations happen to go in his direction about apparently a witness or a victim in an alleged crime that he committed was accosted or, the victim of some kind of home invasion. So I'm going to talk about all that. I saw Red Pill's video, but better than that, I watched the entire source video that story came from. And I had a different conclusion than Red Pill did, because the dude who did the video has some serious credibility problems for me. And we'll go through that shortly. And then we're also going to talk about Devin Haney, because Devin Haney is he's saying he's going to sue Ryan Garcia. He's going to sue him. It's not enough that he got suspended for a tainted supplement. He's gonna file a lawsuit. You guys know how I love that, dude. That's my favorite thing, when people sue fighters, especially when they're doing it because they're unhappy that they lost a fight to them. But what's up, everybody? So also, Gabrielle apparently, I think, has to try on a couple different outfits. So you guys can give.
I'm not changing. I'm staying.
Oh, you're staying in this? All right.
I think.
Well,
Hi.
This is the final. This final answer is.
It's gonna be like the red dress emoji.
Red dress. It is then.
Hi.
Great hair now. All right. So yeah. By the way, thank you very much, Daryl. Thank you, brother. You are a good man. Appreciate you, dude, very much. So Conor's cheated on his wife too many times. I mean, I doubt that is the case. I think he's got an agreement, but whatever, it's irrelevant. All right, so we are going to we're going to start with the Devin Haney stuff. Hey, Mr. Bad, thank you very much. Anybody who's coming on this later, this is a live stream. That is why I am talking to chat. Okay, that's why I am going to take my time talking through things. It's not an edited video, so relax in the comments. Jesse doesn't research things. I'm having a conversation with my live viewers. So fuck you. Anyway. But yeah, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel yet, I would appreciate it if you would do that. And if you would like the stream, that would be amazing. And tell your friends if you think we cover anything valuable. All right, so we are going to start. We're going to start Rick and something. What's up, dog? Back in Texas. We're coming back to Texas in 4 days. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate the super chat. Joshua, you are fucking cool too, man. So we're going to start right here. All right. I want to talk about this story first, and then we'll talk about the Conor McGregor stuff, because this shouldn't take very long. So when I read this morning, I was like, he's joking, right? There's no possible way that Devin Haney is seriously talking about filing a lawsuit against Ryan Garcia. No, there's no way. Because if I know that the amount of Austrian that was in his system had no benefit, there's no performance enhancement. Also, Austrian would not be a drug that you would take in the way that it was taken, supposedly, given the timeline. He passed 1 million tests and they only popped hot right before the fight. To act as if the reason you lost the fight is because of the Austrian is dishonest, and maybe just, honestly, it might just be delusional. Might maybe be that Devin, it's his first loss. He can't accept that he lost legit. There is a better reason that you can go with the loss. Okay. You could just say he weight cheated me. He came in 4 pounds heavy. You don't think I would have done better if I got to not cut an additional 4 pounds? You could go with that. But pretending it's the Austrian is absurd, because that did not cause you to lose the fight. You were unfocused, like I talked about in the video yesterday. It's totally understandable to have been unfocused, but this shit, blaming it on the Austrian, that's one thing, right? I talked about it in the video yesterday, and then now he's like, I'm actually going to file a lawsuit against Ryan Garcia. You're like, are you That would be, I mean, it's just, if he really does that, like if he actually does that, that would be one of the most bitch made moves in the history of the fight game. Straight up. One of the most bitch made moves in the history of the fight game. And I can't talk about this without bringing this up too. So Ryan Garcia tests clean. And the only tests he pops hot for are the ones that are taken right before the fight, right after the fight. Okay. What's different about those tests versus the other ones? Okay. Where is Ryan physically during that period? He's not at home, right? Like he's checked into a hotel. He's there for the fight. People have access to his house. People have, he's there. He's staying in a room. They know what room he's going to be staying in. It would not be hard for someone to spike his shit. And I wouldn't even bring that up, except Victor Conti is the one who fucking said it. If you guys watch that documentary about why it's so suspicious, this test, and how, there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that the Haney crew, kind of set this up. Victor Conti straight up says when he's talking, and he is one of those loudmouth fucks that'll give himself away, he's like, I mean, even, listen, even if, whether it's whether you took it yourself, whether it's a tainted supplement, whether someone spiked your toothpaste, it shouldn't be there. And I'm like, spiked your toothpaste, and then you have Devin Haney's little brother, dumbass, who did the thing where he's like, God told me that Ryan's going to pop for steroids. Oh, is that right? God told you? Interesting. That's a believable story. Or you think that Victor Conti, who founded VADA after going to jail for being one of the most well-known drug cheats in human history, that all of a sudden he tested positive with VADA. It's so shady. It is so fucking shady. The fact that he got suspended pisses me off. If Devin Haney seriously sues him, you couldn't think of a more pussy ass scenario if you tried. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, he says he's going to, he's doubled down on announcing that he will be pursuing legal action against Ryan Garcia for loss of income. All of this stems from Garcia's controversial cheating. Devin Haney has declared that he is planning to, motherfucker. It just kicked me. Okay, never mind. Declared that he's planning to take further legal action against Ryan Garcia following his 1-year drugs ban. Haney is adamant he would be earning more for his next fight had the Garcia situation never happened. And he believes Sandor Martin purse bids show this to be true. My lawyers will do what they've got to do to prove that in court against Ryan. We will take legal action because it has affected me not only financially but mentally and everything. I'm serious. I don't even know why I say this because, well, actually, yeah, I do. So when Logan Paul sued Dylan Dennis and I started doing all those videos, I'm like, why is anyone allowing this to happen without absolutely butt fucking Logan's mouth? Butt fucking his mouth? What? Like, I just don't, like, how is anyone who is even parallel or near the combat sports world letting this happen? He's suing Dylan Dennis, trying to bankrupt him. I'm like, why would it? But I'm actually going to say the exact same thing again with Devin Haney. Like, it's not like you can't do anything, It's like, there's nothing you can really do. Obviously, Devin Haney would beat the fucking shit out of me in a fight. But I have a platform, and I would look him straight in the face and be like, you're a bitch if you actually file a lawsuit against him. That's a bitch-ass move. You lost a fight. Who cares? You're 3-3 against him going into that fight. Now you're 3-4. Who fucking cares? Just fight him again. Obviously, the circumstances were weird. I don't even have to directly accuse his team of juking the fucking test. And honestly, if Haney's team was involved with the test, I bet you Devin doesn't even know. Well, I take that back because his brother knew. Because I was going to say that sounds like something that like his dad and Victor would have cooked up together, But I mean, just legal. Am I the only one that thinks that filing lawsuits is the pussiest shit on planet Earth unless it is like 100% justified? Like, obviously, there are situations where you have to sue a person, obviously. If you're in a bar and you're minding your own business and some asshole comes up and takes a beer mug and smashes it across your face for no reason, and you end up having to spend $60,000 on fucking reconstructive surgery, yeah, you can sue that guy. But my problem is with people suing people for reasons that are really shaky, dude. Like really shaky or just outright not there. And in this case, this is absurd, ridiculous, absurd that Devin Haney thinks that suing Ryan Garcia is even moderately appropriate. Because all you can read it as is a cope that he lost the fight. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like, you guys fought. Like, you guys got in a physical fight. The whole reason I love the sport so much, and I'm sure all of you guys also, is conflict resolution. You guys talked a bunch of shit. Now you're going to go find out what's what. You got your ass kicked. It's fine. You would probably, if you guys fought again, you'd probably beat him. If both you guys make weight and you're more focused, you guys are very evenly matched. But to lose the fight and then go sue him in court and pretend like he only won because of this tainted supplement that your team probably spiked his fucking toothpaste with. I mean, fuck that shit. Anyway, all right. So that is what we're talking about. Taking steroids and ruining your career isn't justified. So I'm going to be nice about this because there's no reason for me to assume that you have done the same amount of research as other people. But go watch More Plates, More Dates video on the Austrian, the test, the amount that was in his system, etc. Because More Plates, More Dates is gospel when it comes to performance enhancing drugs, their use, etc. And he was crystal clear about this, dude. Like he said, Austrian for what he was trying to accomplish was the worst choice for a performance enhancer ever. It's not steroids. Also, it's a SARM. He's like, no one who knows what they're doing would use Austrian. No one. He's like, that makes no sense. And the amount that was in his system, since we know it wasn't in his system before because he passed every other test, you're talking about a 0% chance that it had any performance enhancing effect at all. Okay. Like if you do testosterone replacement therapy, I've heard of different dosages, but let's go super low end. Someone takes 100 milligrams a week or something. Okay. Do you think that you would get a big benefit if someone put a third of 1 milligram into your body? No, you would not. Okay. No. And Austrian is not effective. And there was barely, I mean, like literally like microscopic trillionth or billionth of a gram in his system. So it definitely did not affect the performance. And if I know that, he should fucking know that. His team is Victor Conti. I can promise you, whether he rigged the test or not, Victor Conti knows whether or not the amount of Austrian that was in his test had an effect. And let me tell you something else, and then I'll come back to these super chats. No one is talking about the fact, okay, keep this in one part of your brain, okay, that VADA, the organization that popped Ryan, is founded by Victor Conti, who is a criminal for drugging athletes, okay? And he's been on Devin Haney's team for years, okay? If even, like, just take that right there as your baseline of shadiness, right? And what the fuck? I'll come back to that, actually. I got distracted because I saw another super chat came in. And I actually cannot believe that I don't remember where I was going with that because I was going to make a really fucking strong point right there. My brain is mush. I've been in anyway. Devin, thank you very much, dude. You're a stud. Devin and his daddy, if it's his real daddy, party with Diddy. I don't even know what that means, but thank you for the $50, good sir. Ryan Garcia, I'll show you guys some of their tweets. Ryan Garcia clowned on him again about that. Oh, I'm sorry. I remember exactly where I was going. Choke dealer. I'll come right back to this. So forget about all that shadiness. Okay. Forget about all of that, or as a baseline, just it's over here. What about the part that he tested positive for nandrolone when they originally announced it? And then they're like, never mind, it's not there. How could, like, so you already have the shadiest situation of all time for who popped him hot. It's an organization founded by Devin Haney's team. And then they announced that he was on DECA, which they then retracted because they probably figured out that if he had actually ingested DECA or whatever, it doesn't even matter. They said he had something else, a much more serious drug in his system, which he subsequently, then they subsequently came out, they're all, never mind. And you're like, okay. So just add another fucking shade ball shrimp on the Barbie. Choke dealer, you're the man, dude. Fighters suing fighters is a bad look, and in the future could make other fighters not want to step in the ring with you. I agree with that. I just don't I can't imagine that it's going to end up being anything that's even moderately common, because fighters in general understand what we understand just about this kind of thing, which is that's the most bitch made shit of all time. You don't have to be a pro fighter to understand that if someone if you go head to head, you agree to fight a guy, you guys square up, you fight, and you lose. Okay. Nobody pulled out a weapon. Nobody did anything like that. If you go sue them, that's the pussiest, most bitch made shit of all time. Gabrielle, you want me to fucking pull out a weapon on you? Is that what you want? All that back talk. Antonio Navarro, welcome to the team, dude. Memberships.
Oh, hey. Okay, I'm braiding hair still.
Rock and roll. So, all right, check this out. So then I will show you this, and then we'll go over to Conor. All right, so Ryan Garcia tweeted this in response to finding out that Devin Haney was going to sue him. Okay. He goes, there's no damn way I'm being sued for hurting Devin Haney's feelings. Softest man ever created this crazy, didn't know Bill Haney's sperm was like this, whatever. So Ryan Garcia tweets that, right? And Devin Haney responds, we can settle out of court. What are you offering? I'd be like, Ryan should just respond to that and be like, I'm offering a rematch after because I literally just be like, I'm offering you a rematch. Because if anything, any answer that's not, all right, let's run it back, just literally you're like, all right, that was fucking 9 out of 10 pussy shit. Now it's 10. He offered to let you fight him again. You said no, you'd prefer to settle this in court. Get the fuck out of here, dude. So Ryan says, Devin thinks our rematch is the biggest fight in boxing history. Nah, goofy. Garcia Gervonta is way bigger. You are just P. Diddy side piece. Ooh, what's a bigger fight? Man, I don't know, dude. I think their rematch would be huge. So what if he's talking about rematches? Why is he talking about suing? And so Ryan says, remember when Diddy did Devin in the ass? And Devin said, remember when you shot the Austrian in your ass? So he doesn't know anything. He really doesn't know anything. I think he actually legitimately does not know anything about what's happening, which is honestly, that's the only excuse that I would accept, dude. Seriously. He's like, if Devin Haney seriously believes that what you have here is like a Brock Lesnar, Mark Hunt situation where, Ryan Garcia came in there just straight up TRT Vitor chemically enhanced. That's different. For the record, that's totally different. If Ryan Garcia had come in straight up juice to the gills, tried to beat the test and just was like, Diesel clearly cheated, Devin played clean, and then he lost mate. I mean, I still lawsuit, fuck that. But it would be much less bitch made than the situation now, which is that it had no performance enhancer, I will show you exactly where you can find that. Hang on. So I heard it's all from the same documentary, dude. And I actually heard in that documentary, they have Victor Conte on tape admitting it in a phone call. Hang on. All right, here. This one up top. You see this? Secrets under secrets, the Haney deception. Go give that a run. See how confident you feel that Ryan Garcia really cheated after you watch that. It is so fucking shady. It's crazy. Like I went from how the hell would I possibly know to, oh, wow. Like, that's bananas. Are we swinging tonight still, bro? Dude, Dominator. You have been rejected for that job multiple times, specifically because your name is Dominator. I only let pussy ass twinks into the hotel room to swing because a lot of times I'm like, that's enough. Get the fuck. I'm just kidding. No, we don't swing. Daryl Kendall, again, dude, you're the man, guy. Thank you. I appreciate you. That's karma, you guys. Because I've been taking care of staff here, and now Daryl is taking care of me. You're a fucking savage, dude. I appreciate you. It's a shakedown. Last super chat. Big booty eating G-strings tomorrow, please. I don't understand what that means, but I love you anyway. You're my MVP either way, dude. Appreciate you, man. So yeah, you like this shirt? Look at what do you know about that? Matching shorts, son. I'm in Mexico. So you guys get the idea with that story, dude. It's bullshit. All right. So I'm in Puerto Vallarta. So now, oh, I'm sorry. That reminds me. Really quick before we move on to the Conor story, I have to show you something. So last night, who's number one? You guys may, if you guys are grapplers, you know about who's number one. It was Gordon Ryan's comeback fight. He was the main event, and on the main card was Six Blades superstar Victor Hugo, one of my senseis. Who this was how that went.
Choke. It's around the chin, but it's getting tighter and tighter.
Yeah, that'll strangle you too. So not only is it sticking on your face, it'll pass you out.
Victor Hugo with the submission. The crowd. Victor Hugo.
Dude, our team was fucking deep there last night. Look at how many people from my team were there last night. Check this out. Look at that, dude. That is so crazy. Every time, like when he came out, there was a lot of fucking guys there, or a lot of people there. And so after the fight, I wonder if they got it on tape. So Shane Gillis, Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman, and some other dude were like at the front table right there. And Victor's like, when they asked him who he wanted to fight next, he's like, I got a name. I think everybody knows who I'm going to call. About my size, local guy, Shane Gillis. And they all fucking died laughing. It was awesome, dude. It was a great night. And now he's going to go win the Craig Jones Invitational. And that is going to be exciting to watch. You guys should go watch that event, though. The whole event was sick, dude. Who's number 124? Anywho, now let's look at this Conor McGregor shit. So, yeah. So here's Conor's thing. All right, let me collect my thoughts, actually. I wanted to show you guys this also. So this photograph right here, you may recognize this foot because this is my foot. 2 months after I folded my toe on the mat 90 degrees this way and then popped it back into place and then just started taping it to my other foot or my other toe while I trained. I literally didn't even sit out for a day. And I trained like that for about 8 weeks. And then my toe still looked like that. And Gabrielle's like, you need to go to the fucking hospital, dude. You might have like a bone infection or something. So I went to the hospital and it had been broken in 2 places. And I just didn't know. And it ended up being all right. It wasn't infected. But my toe was broken, like in 2 places broken. And I just kept training. And my point is, I don't believe for 1 second, I don't believe it. I don't believe Conor pulled out because of a broken toe. A broken toe is different than a broken pinky toe. Okay. It's different than a broken pinky toe. Right. I'm going to comment on the red pill video after this. Because his source for that stuff, that guy is a bias shit at researching dimwit. That other guy. I know exactly where he got all of that because I watched it, and I'll go into detail into it later. But that guy who did that video talked about other cases that I knew all of the details about, and he intentionally omitted information. And like the situation with Conor in the bathroom in Miami. This guy literally told that story as if it was bulletproof supporting evidence that Conor McGregor's like a serial, assaulter. The Miami bathroom story, the least credible accusation in the history of celebrities and fucking girls. A 300-pound fucking whale that, without a doubt, went in there to give him blow, right? And oh my God, he tried to assault me. And then the woman who was representing her had represented like 7 other accusers who each had sued a celebrity that they had consensually slept with. Like the attorney is that's how she does her job, is just finds women who have slept with a celebrity and then they go sue the so the fact that I know that, and this guy who's supposedly an investigative journalist either does not know, which means he's shit at his fucking job, or he's intentionally not telling the real story, then I can't buy anything that he's saying. So it's like, I'm sorry, I'm stepping on that. We'll get to that in a second, because he's implying that Conor sent goons to go fucking go break into the house of the accuser of one of his other cases and stab her husband. There's absolutely no evidence whatsoever that Conor did this. And they're like, he's drawing these, and he's saying that he's out of the fight because of that incident. There's zero evidence of that. Zero. And my point is, if he would have done all the other, stories leading up to it, and because I know too much, dude, I covered every one of these stories. If he would have been honest, well-researched, and delivered his message in a way that didn't look like he was very intentionally trying to paint Conor in a certain way, then when you get to that one, I might be like, all right, well, he's drawing that conclusion. There's not a lot of evidence there, but maybe he says the second that you intentionally misrepresent an egregious, obvious fake accusation, then when you get to this one and you want me to take a leap of faith that oh yeah, for sure, Conor sent some guy to stab her husband. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Your credibility's zero now. Anyway, but we'll talk more about that. And I'm talking about the dude who did the video that I'm sure Red Pill saw, which he based it on. And maybe he had a different opinion of that video, obviously. But anyway, all right. So Conor McGregor says that his toe is the reason why he pulled out. I'm sorry. Super chat. BMO, thank you very much. Jesse, what UFC fight are you most excited for tomorrow? Thanks for taking time to post vids and make sure you enjoy it. Dude, you are very welcome, good sir. Tomorrow, probably still the main event, dude. Probably still Whitaker. Let me see if there's a sleeper fight on there that I'm not thinking of. Dude, I was going to be at this show. I'm sorry. What am I talking about? I'm sorry. Pavlovich against Volkov is the one I'm most excited about. What the fuck am I talking about? I knew there was a fight on there that I was really fired up for and I couldn't remember. So Pavlovich and Volkov is going to be a banger. Gastelum and Rodriguez will be great, even though they moved that up to 85. I don't know, man. That's kind of fucked up. And I'm also very excited about our. Oh, you guys can't see this, huh? Sorry. This crazy fuck right here. I'm excited to watch him fight too. Anyway, that's my answer there. Thank you for the super chat, good sir. And what rating do you think he will get on WikiFeet? That's a hard call because dudes, I don't understand the feet thing in general, and I sure as hell don't look at dudes' feet like that. But anyway, so but the Conor McGregor thing, I mean, I just can't imagine that a guy who fought Chad Mendes with a torn ACL would pull because of a pinky toe. I can't wrap my brain around that. But what I will say is this. So I've been going back and forth about what must have happened. Oh yeah, no. I didn't know that. The video that I did with Connor about the shin bone, I actually did not. Oh, Mixed Molly, what's up, Mixed Molly Whoppery? My favorite person on earth. I'm excited to see the video that I emailed you back about the topic that you asked me about. I'm excited to see that video either way. I'm curious what you thought of my response though. Probably not shit that you would put in a YouTube video anyway, but nonetheless. So yeah, like one thing that I had been thinking about was what could explain the canceling the press conference, then pretending like, or not, maybe not pretending, but saying the fight's back on and then turning around and canceling it, right? Because Chael explained to me how the legality of these things works, right? Like as like a promoter, right? Like if you put the show on, then there's all kinds of legality around a situation like this. So example being, if a promoter knows that the headline fight is not happening, if one of the fighters is pulled and you continue to sell tickets or pay-per-views to consumers while still advertising the fight that you know is not going to be on there, that's super illegal. Like you can't do that at all. And so he told me that right after, maybe like a day after the press conference, while the pay-per-views were still not being sold. So when they turned everything back on, I'm like, okay, so the fight's back on. And then they shut it all down and they said, never mind, Conor's off. So I do not believe that the UFC would do anything illegal just because they have too much to lose. Like, I don't think that they would knowingly promote a fight that they knew for sure Conor was not going to be a part of anymore, because they did shut it down immediately. So why would they turn it back on and just commit a crime? I just don't think they would do that. So how do you explain those set of data points in the timeline? So what I think happened, and let's just forget about the reason, right? Like okay, I'll see you guys down there. I'll see you guys at 7. So if you forget about the reason, like whether it was a toe or any other thing, what would explain it is Conor tells the UFC that he has X reason, right? That he wants to pull out, right? The UFC, they've already sold out the arena. It's a record-breaking, gate. It's like they have $20 million banked for the event. So they're like, dude. So if it's even like a moderately shaky reason, right? Like if Conor calls, he's like, hey, my femur got snapped in half in a motorcycle accident. There's no conversation there, right? But if it's something that is like even a little bit on the margins, whether it was a broken toe, substance abuse, a hairline fracture, whatever, and it puts the UFC in a position where they're kind of going to be like, look, man, like are you sure you can't fight? Like, you know what I mean? Then I think what would happen is Conor would tell the UFC, and he'd be the only fighter that could actually do this, is he would say, why don't you look into whether or not you can put together a card that would, efficiently replace me if I didn't fight. If you can't do that in this amount of time, then I'll just fight. Right. And so when they probably first reached out, so the press conference gets canceled, they start reaching out to people like Ariel said, and they're not having any success, right? Like they're going through the thing, they're not having any success. And then, so by that Monday, it's like, dude, Conor, like, we're not going to be able to replace you on the card. So they put the card back on. something happened subsequently later on in the week, and all of a sudden fucking Yuri and Poatan, kind of falls into place. And they're like, okay, now we got a headliner. What else we got? Then they go and they, try to do Ortega and Diego. And at a certain point, they're like, okay, yeah, we actually do have a card. What do you want to do? And then they make the final decision and he's out. So I think that is the most likely scenario that explains, it's off, it's on, it's off. Which, and again, would lend itself towards the type of injury that a toe, a pinky toe break would explain. Like, okay, I could fight, but I don't want to. Again, though, dude, I mean, a pinky toe. Now, in fairness, in my own story where I said I continued to train and didn't even take a day off, that's just jiu-jitsu. Like, I'm not throwing kicks with that foot, I don't know necessarily like how much that matters. But again, Conor fought Chad Mendes with a torn ACL. Fucking torn ACL. You know what I mean? And he's, broken pinky toe. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. But Slowy G, what's up, dude? Thank you for the super chat, good sir. Thanks for making me throw up in my mouth of all the feedback. Oh yeah, here, my bad, dude. Here, let me give you something else to look at. There you go. So there you go, my dude. Appreciate the super chat. So bye. Okay, so this is Conor McGregor. Be very excited. Conor McGregor says he couldn't justify fighting with an injury again. So let's look at this. All right. So the post, Conor McGregor says he couldn't justify fighting again with an injury after doing so numerous times throughout his career. I couldn't justify to my team or fans that I make the walk hindered again. That walk has been seen. This next walk has got to be, and it will be 100% Conor McGregor. Okay. So there are two ways to read that, right? Like I always, and then he said, be very excited. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt because I think people tend to just default to like, let's crucify this guy. If there's a story, exactly. Correct. I am talking about practice, but it really did not have a huge effect on my ability to do anything. But again, my pinky, it's my pinky toe. I just taped it. I taped it to the toe next to it. And then I didn't even, it never came into play for me. But again, it is what it is. But giving him the benefit of the doubt, because I don't really have any reason not to. If that's where his head is at in terms of I need to be 100%, what that means is he understands exactly how important this fight is, right? Like where he's like, I have to win this fight. I'm not going in there with one fucking thing wrong. I mean, that's not usually, who goes into a fight 100%? It's very, very rare, very rare. Which brings me to the other thing. It is possible they just want to move it to the fucking sphere, Let's not pretend that is that's completely outlandish idea think about this, dude. There is this other scenario where Conor does have the broken toe. They talk about whatever. And, without Conor even necessarily being the full driver, him, Dana, and Hunter start talking. And it's like, dude, he's got a broken toe. Maybe we could, see what we can do. If we can get them replaced, then we could have Conor and fucking Chandler headline the sphere. Because Dana's in Dana said he's spent $17 million already to do the Sphere show, which is obviously very uncommon. And so they're probably looking at the numbers and they're like, fuck, man. Listen, we already banked this 20 million. If we can make it an incredible fight because it's already International Fight Week, it's not like a full bait and switch. And then we'll have Conor in the Sphere because they're only going to do a sphere fight one time. But that said, it is close enough that if I'm playing this out strategically, I would have to have Chandler probably on the inside of the fat. I would need him to know that the fight is happening at the Sphere or potentially happening at the Sphere and not have him kind of Well, I guess he's not going to run from the fight anyway. I don't know, dude. Chandler looked distraught, obviously in those videos that he did, the long ones where he's talking, not distraught, like just fucking unhappy that he wasn't fighting. He was excited to fight. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have any conclusion to really draw other than it just being a toe injury makes no fucking sense to me, dude. Just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Wait, someone said, oh my God, what am I doing? That just, this is why, okay, when I'm at home, I jot down just bullet points, because I'm like, make sure that I don't forget. Okay, Jesus, the most important piece of data that we learned today that I did not know, and I thought I did know and I was wrong about, was Conor made a statement, and let me see if I can find it on here. And where the fuck is that, dude? He said that, where was that comment, dude? He said something about, it was, I think, oh, you know what? I know it's on his Instagram. Hang on. I'll hang on. Because Conor talked about like what he's planning in the future. Because this post right here, where he says, "Oh fuck it, I'm gonna get myself that Bugatti anyway because it's my birthday." Because in a post right before that, which I'm not sure, maybe it's this one. Okay, this is it. This is the most important piece of information that came out today. This right here, and it took me, I fucking waited 40 minutes to bring it in. This is the biggest piece of info, in my opinion. So he says, "Man, we were so fucking super ready for this fight. It is absolutely gut-wrenching to take. I want that new Bugatti. How am I going to justify to myself getting that now without banking these fights? We had a lapse in concentration and engaged in a training session without wearing the full protective gear, and I hit the toe off the elbow and broke the toe clean. It needs a few weeks, and that's it. I couldn't justify to the team or fans that I make the walk hindered again. That walk has been seen. This next walk has to be me and will be 100% Conor McGregor. The fans deserve it, yada, yada." He says, a slight lapse. That's it. Take the lesson, move forward. I will get this back. Here we go. I've got 2 fights left on my contract. Boom. That's it right there. I've got 2 fights left on my contract. I've got Bugattis and more yachts on my mind. I'm coming to shine. I got to just take my time because I still got yachts and Bentleys and blah, blah. Okay. So what that means is Conor did not sign a new deal before this fight. If he's telling the truth right there, that means he did not sign a new deal. Okay. Now I assumed that he had. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, based on nothing, unless I heard that somewhere and I'm forgetting now, but I just was like, of course they did a new deal. Like they're not going to put him in there and put him in a situation like Francis was in, where he only has 1 fight left on his deal, and then he's going to become an unrestricted free agent because Conor's leverage will be astronomical. Like, I don't know if Conor has a sunset clause though. If every time I've talked about Conor's contract, I've always said the exact same thing, which is if I don't know his sunset clause date, or if he has a sunset clause, then I can't speak intelligently about the contract negotiation. If I knew when his sunset clause was, I could tell you exactly what's going on both sides with a lot more confidence, at least. But yeah, I mean, that's a huge piece of information, enormous. So yeah, I mean, you just got to factor that into every other thing. I mean, if you listen, dude, everybody doesn't need to do it, think about it like I do, if you just, is he going to fight? Is he not going to fight? He's injured. He's not injured. If that's all you like to think about, then just think about that. But people who like to really think about what's going on behind the scenes and what factors are at play, I mean, that is fucking enormous. Absolutely enormous, because like we talked about a million times, if Conor becomes an unrestricted free agent, right? If Conor becomes an unrestricted free agent, it is like the same way that, like we were just talking about this down here. Trump starts Truth Social, Boo Gaethje, thank you for the super chat. An impression of Unique saying Conor makes excuses. I can't do it, dude. I can't do it without the thing, dude. I have to get I can't get into character without my whole setup because I have to hide my face behind my microphone. But I appreciate your super chat, good sir. So like hang on. Oh, sorry. Okay. So if Conor was an unrestricted free agent, right? Like Trump starts Truth Social, right? He's the #1 user on Twitter of all time. Everything he tweets goes global. It doesn't matter if you love him or hate him. It's weird if you still hate him and you're in the MMA community, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter. Everybody can have their own opinion. But it's just an objective truth that on Twitter, he was by far the most important, user globally. And they deplatformed him, because he orchestrated an insurrection, No one bring guns. Everyone, we're taking over the government. Don't bring your guns, okay? I want you to peacefully invade the Capitol. So they, deplatform him. And I said from the beginning, I'm like, why? He could just start his own fucking platform. And all that's going to happen is he'll have a competitor to Twitter in 5 seconds. But they had just shut down Parler. And so it was like, all right, he's going to have to manage his own servers, but that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer move, right? And that's exactly what happens. Conor, as an unrestricted free agent, right? Okay, he's an investor in BKFC now, or an owner. I have no idea what that contract looks like with BKFC or whatever, but that again still more so lends itself to the UFC being behind that deal, because if UFC, if I'm the UFC, my #1 concern, okay, is Conor making a new competitive company or a competitor, go from a non-entity to fucking a real competition, just like that, right? So strategically, how I would approach that, given this circumstance, you got Dave Feldman trying to raise money. It's by far it's got the most momentum of any other organization. So you figure out a way to kind of piggyback what Conor has always wanted, which is ownership in UFC, which now he can just buy on his own. And you put him in an ownership position with BKFC, and in the contract, you make sure that in the operating agreement, because you're going to do an entirely new operating agreement. If you're Dana White and these guys are, Endeavor or whatever, whoever, or TKO, and you're going to do the first major round of institutional funding for BKFC, you're not going in there like, oh, how are you incorporated? An LLC? Awesome. Who's on your board of directors? Cool. That's good. Operating agreement. We don't even need to see that. Here, just take this money and then just, give us our promissory notes. You're going to go in there, you're going to restructure the entire fucking organization. You're going to redo an operating agreement. You're going to do all of that stuff. And in your operating agreement, you're going to have in there that any owners who own more than certain percentage of the company, right? And then, right, you go, any owner who owns over, you say percentage of the company, which is obviously less than what he owns, and then you have a threshold of shares that is less than what he owns, because then even if you go public and get diluted into the fucking ground, the number of shares Conor has is never going to change. Maybe he could sell off or whatever, but then you have a non-compete, towards the end. But as long as they have that in the operating agreement that he can't be an owner or an investor in a competitive entity, then that's how you lock Conor down. I probably just spoke fucking Chinese to most of you guys, but the guys who know this shit, you know what I'm saying, right? That's exactly how you lock him down from being a competitive promoter. But as a fighter, that's different, right? Honestly, I have no idea if they're really fucking clever. If those guys are really fucking clever, really clever. I still don't even know for sure that they actually did the BKFC deal. I just can't imagine in a million years that Dana and the UFC would allow Conor to be the one who funds the BKFC deal and become a competitor without their involvement, when they could all they'd have to do is just decide that they're going to be the primary investor in BKFC. Like, why would they allow Conor to do that and not do that? It makes no sense. That would be one of the craziest things ever. But like, if they were really clever, what they could write into the operating agreement is make the language just like that. So the operating agreement says you cannot be an owner in another competitive, promotion without express voting, voted approval by the rest of the board or whatever, or by the board. And if you word it right, you could probably make it legally, possible for you to argue that even going and fighting for another organization that's not BKFC, or would technically be a BKFC would be a violation of that contract, but you would only, pull that string if he tried to go sign with a competitor that's not UFC, because UFC guys actually own BKFC now. Anyway, I'm talking fucking. I have no idea if any of you guys have any idea what I'm talking about. I know some of you guys do, but I'm sure some of you don't. So, all right. Okay. So, all right, you know what? I just want to run through this red pill thing super quick because again, I don't want to I got to sign off here in like 5-6 minutes, and I want to make sure that I cover this a little bit. So again, basically the summation of the video is the guy, because what he's covering is it was covered by this guy who went on Alex Jones's, I think it was InfoWars. And did this 43-minute documentary. Actually, you know what? I'll just go off of that. Hang on. I have that right here. Oops. Because there you go. So this is what this whole thing, like all the hubbub. Right?
Other networks lie to you.
This guy that was on InfoWars. And this dude is basically saying that Conor McGregor is a serial rapist. And he's implying that Conor is not fighting because one of the accusers in the original 2018 case, which I'll tell you guys about in a second, had a home invasion where her husband got stabbed, which just happened. And their case is coming up. Now, it's not like that accusation is completely out of left field, because the woman who Conor allegedly attacked in Spain, the story about the boat where the girl who was from his hometown, he ran into her in Barcelona or Ibiza or whatever. And he was like, come on the boat, come on the boat. And she came on the boat. And then she said that like really late at night, he just was kind of like, and she said he just blank faced her, and then he hit her. He hit her for no reason, kicked her in the stomach, something like that. Like, that's her story. I mean, again, this is all alleged. And then she threw herself off the boat and swam away, because that was like how she like escaped or whatever. So she filed a lawsuit against him in Ireland when she got home, and her car got firebombed. I mean, that happened. And then she dropped her lawsuit. I mean, I don't have any evidence one way or the other whether Conor firebombed the car. I'll tell you right now, though, if it was me and I had someone who was suing me had their car, firebombed, I would want as many people to know about that as possible, as long as they couldn't connect it back to me criminally. So I don't feel uncomfortable talking about it, because what's the point of being scary if people don't know you're scary? The whole point is don't fuck with me. So like, but that happened. Car got firebombed. She dropped the case. So now this other woman who has a case pending, has a home invasion thing, but there's no evidence whatsoever that Conor was connected to that at all. Like literally zero, none, not one bit. The fact that the husband got poked, she didn't, it's just like, that doesn't make sense as an intimidation factor, like as an intimidation tactic to break in and stab a guy. Like, at least to me, that doesn't make sense. So they do a whole thing, they connect him to like the Kinahan gang, all this stuff everybody knows, right? Like literally the biggest boxing promoter in the world is the head of that, that organization, and he lives in Dubai. And from all the people I know who have actually done business with him on the combat sports side, he's like a gentleman and a professional. But, per Interpol, the leader of one of the most powerful and violent fucking drug cartels in Europe. And, those are Conor's friends, right? So that's just true. But again, we've all already known that. The whole story revolves around this home invasion and whether or not Conor was responsible for doing it, and the fact that he's out is the direct result of that case, right? So, again, I don't know. Listen, House of Cardboard. Let me explain something about that real quick. If you know for sure, people, if you see dozens or hundreds of photographs of a dude photographed with known high-ranking members of an organized crime group that is 100% Interpol verified, like pictures of them out, having a good time, smiling, laughing, and then you find out that same person's sister is dating like one of the most prolific hitmen from the same cartel, and the guy in question is worth hundreds of millions of dollars and has resources for days and is famous and has an army of people that would do anything just to have him pat them on the head and say, good job. There's nothing too bit about that guy, dude. That is a dangerous fucking dude to fuck with. If you fuck with him. I mean, like, if you think Conor is not the kind of person where if you made him into an enemy that you would have like serious concerns for your health and well-being if you were in Ireland, then you're fucking crazy. Like, for sure. But that is not the point. I already knew that. My point is about this fucking idiot who told the entire story about the Miami bathroom story that is 100% a lie and everybody knows it. And he never showed a picture of her. He completely lied about that situation. And so I'm very skeptical about his, conclusion that this chick, in a high crime area, that had anything to do with the case, because there's no evidence of that whatsoever. Anyway, bottom line, dude, if someone fucking misrepresents a story, if I know for sure that they're misrepresenting a story, then I'm going to shit on him every time. And this guy definitely did that. This dude right here. Wait, what? This dude. So, all right, I got to run, dude. I got dinner in 2 minutes. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Peace.